I received lots of feedback about my previous episode, How to Hide a Face in Photoshop. And in there I said, well, you can do this in Premiere and After Effects. Well, the feedback that I've received is, that's great in Photoshop, show me how to do this in Premiere Pro. So today I'm going to show you how to obscure someone's face in a video in Premiere Pro. Let's have a look. Here's our fake stakeout video, so I'll just go through this a little bit. And we've got to get rid of the face of this gentleman who is posing as our undercover officer. If you haven't looked at Premiere Pro for a while, the easiest way to get this video into a sequence is to drag it down here to this little page icon. And automatically Premiere Pro creates a new sequence, the exact same pixel aspect ratio, frame rate, and everything. So now we're going to begin to work on this. So the only thing that you have to understand here is that we've got to have 3 layers. I'd love to be able to do this on the video, but you can't. If I add a mosaic to the video, it obscures everything. We have to stack this up, and trust me, it's not that difficult. So we have video 1, which is the original layer. I'm going to drag the same video down to video 2, go over to my effects, and I'm going to start typing M-O-S-I, that's A-I-C, Mosaic. Now the first thing you'll see is the presets for some of these transitions. You don't want those down here where it says Stylize, Mosaic, drag that onto the top layer, onto video 2. And you can see it obscures the whole video. It also defaults to 10 pixels by 10 pixels, really coarse. So in our source monitor, we go over to our effects controls, twirl down Mosaic, and you can see right there it's 10 by 10. I'll just click on it and I'm going to type in the number 60 and 60 again, so both horizontal and vertical are the same. So again, this depends on the resolution of the video that you're using. 60 is fine for me. As you can see, the Mosaic is obscuring every single part of this video. We need to take an area and isolate that area. And we're going to need one more layer. And we're just going to call that a track matte. A track matte is something that video folks are used to. If you're coming from Photoshop, just think of it as a moving mask, a moving area. Okay? Over on the left-hand side, I click on the little new button and we'll choose color matte. And you don't have to change the size here. I'm going to because I find it easier to work with. But you can change it later, so I'll make mine 300 by 300 pixels. Click OK. Here you choose a color. I'm going to choose solid black. Click OK. And now we'll name this Track Matte. OK, and it shows up over on the left in our bin. I'll drag this out to video layer 3. And you'll notice that it defaults to a certain length. Make sure that you drag the right-hand side and snap it to the side of the video. So this is the area. You notice that I can click on it directly inside the program window, resize this, and move it where I want. We now need to connect this track matte to the mosaic so we can isolate that effect. It's not that difficult. Make sure you're clicking on video 2, video layer 2. Remember, this is where we added our mosaic effect. If we go back down to our effects down at the bottom and type in the word track, look what shows up. In our keying section, we've got something called track matte key. I'm going to drag this into my effects control here. And even though it's not showing up below mosaic, it will. Twirl this down, and right now the track matte is looking for a track matte. Well, if we twirl this down, our track matte, if you remember, we stuck it on video layer 3. So it's on video layer 3, so that's the way it's going to work. Click OK, and now there we've got it. Okay, so a little bit of work there just to get this sandwich of video stuff working, but have a look over here. Watch this. I'll go over here and click, and remember that was our black track matte. Notice that it's now the pixelated video. So we've created this sandwich of video layers, put them together now, and now we can animate the position of that. I know that's a little bit of extra work, but if we wanted to, I just want to make a point. We go back over and select video track 2. Watch this. I'll hold the control key down, click on track matte, click on mosaic, right click, save as a preset. Oh, Lordy, thank you. So let's save this as a preset and we'll call it hide a face. Hide a face. Next time, we just need to go to our effects, type in hide a face, and there we go. We'll apply this to video layer 2, and this will allow us to quickly add those to the mosaic and the track matte layer really quick. Okay, so let's get back to animating our track matte at the top. Right. So we've got our track matte layer selected. There's our mosaic. I'm going to move this around freely. In the left-hand side, I'm going to twirl down motion, and you see we've got position and scale information inside here. I'm not really going to work on scale, but if you wanted to resize this, maybe the person was walking forward and backwards and you needed to resize it, great, to cover more of an area, no problem. I'm going to keep the scale, but animate the position. Click on the little stopwatch right here, and it adds a keyframe. I'm just going to move the current time indicator ahead until the person appears. There they are. Now I'll just nudge it up, and it's just a matter of moving this forward, dragging this along, moving it forward. Try not to go too fast sometimes because you might miss their face, and I'm going to make mine just a little bit smaller here. So every single time, as long as I've added that first keyframe, every single time I make another movement in here, it's going to add another keyframe, and you see them showing up over here on the left-hand side. If you've added a keyframe you don't want, select it and just press the delete key. So at the end, we end up with a video where he is completely obscured. And this little trailing path will disappear here. Let me just turn all of that off. And look at that. It disappears. Now we've got him following along. So this is the final version. We'll play that back for you right now. So you can see that he comes in, completely obscured. Make sure you follow the face the whole way. And sometimes if there's very erratic movement, you might have to go frame by frame. So there you have it. That's how we hide a face in Premiere Pro. We've now learned how to do it in Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and for the next one, I'll show you how to do it in After Effects.